Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 116 of our trip around the United States. This morning, we're getting things started out from here in Knoxville within Marion County. And wouldn't you know it, we found a Freedom Rock. We actually spotted it last night when we came into Knoxville and immediately knew we were gonna come back here this morning so we could get a few shots at it. I can't resist. Today is a very, very short day on mileage. We only have 110 miles to cover from here in Knoxville, moving pretty well directly north until we get into Union. Union is the stopping point for our day. The reason that we have such short miles on the agenda today is because we're going to take on the Iowa State Star. That's the geoart of 51 geocaches that are formed into the shape of a star, and there's one in each of the 50 states. Unlike Minnesota, where we messed up royally and ended up gaining a day out of it, we have actually solved all of the puzzles for the Iowa 50 State Star. So those should not be an impediment for us to take it on. Whether or not we actually complete the geoart, we'll see. It's not a high priority. What matters is ending the day at the right place, but if we have the time to do it, we are going to end through the whole series. Either way, sun's shining, weather's warm, and we're starting the day off with one of these awesome Freedom Rocks. It's gonna be a great day. You know it, I know it, and the dog knows it. So let's see what it's got in store. Come on, let's go. This morning's adventure gets started in Knoxville, the county seat of Marion County, with a population of around 7,600. It was named in honor of Revolutionary War hero General Henry Knox. Among his other accomplishments during the war, he directed Washington's famous Delaware River crossing. During World War I, Dixie Cornell Gebhardt, one of the daughters of the American Revolution and a resident of Knoxville, designed the Iowa state flag. That important part of state history is captured beautifully on the front of this Freedom Rock. Coming around the other side, you will find William Miles Stone, the 6th governor of Iowa and a good friend of President Abraham Lincoln. And on the short side is a view from a helicopter door while retrieving wounded soldiers during Vietnam. After departing Knoxville, our morning was filled with drives between cemeteries. Each time we stopped at a new cemetery, we retreated to a different, fantastic view out over the harvested cornfields. We had to stop yesterday in Knoxville because today's agenda started with 4 cemeteries, which definitely wasn't going to happen last night. So when we checked this morning, 2 of those 4 have been archived, and 1 of those we DNF'd so far. So of the 4 options that we had available to us, we're now down to 1. So hopefully, this one will be there. Fingers crossed. Much like the other cemetery we tried this morning, there's pretty much only one place to hide this thing. Yes, the break we needed. Right there, under all this grass, we have a bison tube. All right, well, we've exhausted all the other options in the county, but we got a lucky break right at the end. We are done with this county. Let's get out of here. Our route out to the Iowa State Star had us passing along the edge of Sully, but once we noticed that this was home to the Jasper County Freedom Rock, we immediately made a turn and headed into downtown. The front of the rock features Revolutionary War hero Sergeant William Jasper, for whom the county is named after. And the backside shows a soldier living both of his lives. The only reason I knew this rock was here because I saw it on the town sign. Might I propose, just an idea, but for those Iowa geocachers out there, the Iowa Freedom Rocks Challenge. 99 geocaches spread across the state, all within short reach of a Freedom Rock, and maybe a coin at the end or a path tag, or not, just a series by itself. This is definitely worth making a geocache series out of, and now that it's complete, it is the perfect timing to get out there and make it happen. Just saying. Located at the historic Linville Mill and Dam, also known as the Wagaman Mill, is a fantastic geocache with a ton of favorite points. A geocache that I should note I also was not able to find. But despite that inconvenient fact, the listing still gave us an opportunity to visit a historic site and take in several beautiful views while walking the dog. Then it was off into the countryside to see the L.J. Mastim's wheel art. Amazingly, this sculpture was completed by the artist at the age of 90 years old. It is 12:30 now. We've just made it to the first geocache of the State Star series. I want to be done by about 3. That means we have 2.5 hours to complete the series. that's 50 caches in 150 minutes. So if I'm gonna get the whole GeoArt complete and stay on time, that means I need to be averaging about 3 minutes for every find. It's gonna be close, but it's possible. It helps. And most of them, hopefully, will be easy geocaches just like this. Fingers crossed, here we go.
The entire run looked pretty much just like this. Enjoy a great view, find a pole, locate the cache at the bottom. Enjoy a great view, locate the pole, find the cache at the bottom.
For the most part, it's a rinse, lather, repeat kind of process. Single trail from the side of the road, up, make the quick find. And you do 50 more of these to be able to complete the series. Now, I'm not normally one for power runs. I play this game to have fun. Power runs stopped being fun for me, so I stopped doing them. But this is a little different. Number one, it's a state star, and I always do the state stars. They come in different flavors too. Alaska was a lot of hiking in that one. Some of them are park and grab series like this, some of them are out on rails to trails. I'll do them no matter which of the variety they are. I would have done the Minnesota State Star, but they were very difficult puzzles, and if anybody knows me, they know I'm not a puzzle solver. When it comes to solving puzzles, I'm more of a crayon eater. Not my thing. This series does feel good though, because after a long morning of DNFs and difficultly fought counties, it's one find after another going very quickly, and I kind of like it. This is a very enjoyable ride down these peaceful country roads, and I couldn't be happier.
I realized I needed to stay on track and continue to make good time through the series, but it was difficult to stay focused when we'd pull off and have great views like this. I just had to take them in. Although the majority of the series was micros located at the base of telephone poles, there was some variety to it as well. Every now and then we would be treated to a medicine bottle at the base of a stop sign instead. Or a quick grab hanging out above the grass calling out to us. We worked through the finds one after another, and before we knew it, we had reached the end of the line and found all 51 geocaches in the series.
And there it is, our last find in the Iowa State Star series. Stop the clock at 3:20. That means that we did this thing in 3 hours and 50 minutes. Most of them were fairly easy, medicine bottles at the base of signs or poles. Some of them had bisons. There was a lot of throwdowns, and a lot of them need maintenance. So you can tell they've been out there for a while in the sun cracking. I replaced what I could when I found the remnants of some, or when I knew the cache was obviously missing, when I found the zip tie where it had gone to. But for the most part, they're here or being maintained by the community, it would appear. And it wasn't a bad series to run through. Now we've still got about 3 hours worth of daylight left, and we're gonna go on and finish our county targets for the day. And I think we're gonna have just enough daylight left to finish everything. Either way, it's been a pretty good day. We got 51 finds in a series. And more importantly, just look how beautiful that State Star looks on the map. I love completing these things, they're so fun.
We had burned up most of our daylight pursuing the Iowa State Star, but still had enough on our side to visit the city of Toledo, the county seat of Tama County. The city was chosen to be the county seat all the way back in 1853, and the courthouse was completed in 1866 at a cost of what was then $25,000. A very brief visit, and then it was on our way toward the end of our day.
The finds in this county have just been a lot of fun. Check this one out. They put a lot of work into making this container. Let's see what's going on inside of there. All right, we got a lock and lock coming on out. Oh, and it's loaded with path. Look at all those path tags. That's awesome.
We raced the setting sun to our last target of the day and were treated to an amazing view over this Veterans Memorial.
And there we have it, the end of another fantastic day geocaching out here in Iowa. And we managed to beat the sun today. Even if it was only just barely, that sun is still up in the sky. We made it, yes. Today turned out a lot differently than I thought it was going to. In the morning, we had a whole bunch of cemeteries identified for our first county and some interesting geocaches identified for our second. Well, we ended up DNFing a lot of those, having a hard time. There were archives. We spent a good couple hours on those first two counties this morning, only to make 2 finds. and barely made our way to be able to put a check in the box. But then after that, we got into the Iowa State Star Series, and we managed to find 51 of those things in 4 hours. So apparently we were doing something right there. Once we finished up the State Star, our luck turned around. All of the geocaches we tried after that ended up being pretty fun finds, and we were able to actually find them, which is always a plus in this game. The next few days are also a little off kilter for us. Instead of covering miles, we're still going to be concentrating on geocaching tomorrow and the next day. This part of Iowa just happens to have a lot of fun stuff that we wanted to slow down for. But after that, we'll cover a little bit more miles and start making our way to the end of the state. For now, we're going to enjoy what's left of this beautiful sunset behind us, maybe track down a few more geocaches and get ourselves staged into a good starting point for tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Like this video, subscribe to stay tuned for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.